These animals use their noses like snorkels, they sort of plant trees with their poop, and they kind of look like pigs. I'll introduce you to these interesting mammals next on Zoo News.
Female viper. Good job.
Hi, I'm Jed Dodds, and welcome to Zoo News. Today we travel to South America to meet its largest land mammal, the Baird's tapir. But first, a little background on tapirs. There are 4 different species of tapir. The Malayan tapir is found in Southeast Asia, where the lowland, mountain, and Baird's tapir are found in South America. Our Baird's tapir has a black back and kind of a white chin strap on his throat area. Meet Contessa and Iibu. We also have a male adult Tupi who rotates on and off habitat. Looking at little Iibu, you wouldn't guess that about a year ago, his coat was covered in spots and stripes.
We have something really exciting at Reid Park Zoo. We've got a baby tapir that was born on November 9th.
Do not be patient. The baby's coming out any second.
They're very endangered. There's only about 5,500 left in the world, and there's only about 40 or so that are in human care.
In the wild, jaguars and pumas are really the tapir's only natural predators. However, their biggest threat is from humans. Tapir calves stay fairly close to mom and stay within vocal range of each other for safety.
So even though our calf has already gone swimming a couple of times, and they can be pretty strong swimmers by a couple weeks of age, mom is still a good overprotective mom, and she can get a little nervous when he gets near the water and tries to push him away sometimes.
He's adorable. Absolutely adorable. He looks a little different than his mom.
She makes it about 10-15 minutes, then she starts to want him to go back in and is pushing him around, and he's like, nope.
It's a lot of fun watching this little guy grow up. And here at Reid Park Zoo, we're doing much more than just watching. We're taking an active role in tapir conservation by working with the tapir specialist group. We've learned that the most common thing that field researchers are after is baby tapir pictures.
But they've never worked with them like we have, so they don't know how fast they grow, they don't know how fast the spots and stripes fade. And so being able to create a database for them of how old these animals are allows these researchers to get some really valuable information. This was taken on February 14th, so at this point he's a little over 3 months old, and now you can see how much he's growing. They grow very rapidly, about 1 pound a day, and you can start to see the spots and stripes on his back are pretty faded, but he still has a lot of them down here on his belly and his legs, and those will continue to fade as he gets older.
Time has sure flown by, and little Iibu is not so little anymore.
When he was first born, he probably only weighed about 23 or 24 pounds, but he gains about 1 pound a day, so he's up to almost 170 pounds now. So he grows very quickly. He'll be about 500 pounds when he's full grown.
Female tapirs are larger than males, so Iibu won't get quite as big as mom, but he will start to look like her more and more as he loses his spots and stripes.
It's like a cow with a long nose. Sort of like a kind of like pig mixed with an anteater or so.
Rhino. Elephant.
They're not really related to any of those things. Their closest relatives are the wild horses, and rhinos are actually their closest relative, but they diverged from rhinos about 50 million years ago, and they've been pretty unchanged for about the last 25 million years, so in a lot of ways tapirs are considered living fossils.
Tapirs are part of a group called Perseodactyl, or the odd-number-toed ungulates. They share this group with the rhino and the horse. This is opposed to Artiodactyl, or the even-toed ungulates, like the deer, the antelope, and the pig. Let's see what Tessa and Iibu have been up to.
I don't know what he was doing, but she smiled, and I got to see some teeth. So that was pretty crazy. I didn't expect to see all that.
You might see those teeth again when they're eating. Tapirs are strict herbivores, which means they only eat plants and lots of fruit. The Baird's tapir is the largest megafrugivore in Central and South America.
And that's really important because as they eat the fruit, the seeds pass through their system, and as they walk through the rainforest, then they deposit those seeds and new forests grow.
The Baird's tapir are nicknamed the gardeners of the forest because they actually rebuild the forest, which means they're really important for a healthy ecosystem. Little Iibu will eventually go off to another zoo and hopefully begin a family of his own. So be sure to come out and see him while you can. Now you know what a tapir is. They're really cool animals. If you have any questions about tapirs or any other animal here at Reid Park Zoo, you can always go to Tucson12.tv, click on Zoo News, and ask them there. I'm Jed Dodds bringing the zoo to you.